Reactions are running the gamut following Vancouver Police getting more than $5.5 million more toward their budget, even after City Council said no.
We do advocate for defunding the police. We want deep and lasting cuts to the police budget so we can actually invest in community-based crisis response.
Community support groups say they wish the money would go elsewhere where it actually could help those in need. Downtown business associations are welcoming whatever help they might get.
We hope that, of course, there'll be an increased visible presence on our street and perhaps some more proactive policing in the areas that really need some addressing.
We have appealed to the police department to have more presence on the street so that people have a feeling of safety.
The businesses say the pandemic has come with an increase in property crime, shoplifting, graffiti, and the eyesore smashed windows, and wonder if more police presence might help, while aware this presence can make other community members far less at ease. They all agree police are tasked with roles that are not policing, and that's supporting people in mental health crises.
5.7 million, let's be clear, is a tiny, tiny drop in the bucket. We need to see a radical reinvestment in community-led safety and crisis supports.
There needs to be the appropriate supports in place for folks that are facing such severe mental health and substance abuse problems.
This money issue all started with last year's Vancouver City budget, freezing or cutting across the board to make up for pandemic revenue losses. The VPD appealed that decision to the Provincial Police Services, and they just ruled in the VPD's favor.
We're going to have to come up with $5.7 million to top up the police board, and that money is going to have to come from somewhere.
Fry agrees. Police are filling gaps they shouldn't have to when it comes to social supports.
Provincially, it's been neglected and underfunded for decades, so there is a great deal of catch-up that this current provincial government is doing. So I don't want to sound like I'm totally dumping on them necessarily, because they have definitely made a lot of big moves in the right direction.
Still, community support workers are feeling disappointed and unheard.
The message has been delivered loud and clear from the most directly impacted members of our community, and yet the city, the police board, and now the province have decided to just uphold the status quo around funding VPD.
Businesses want to try to get back to business with the prospect of the first real tourist season in 2 years, and say maybe this additional police funding will help.
It's a difficult situation. I mean, boarded up storefronts don't paint a very pretty picture of Vancouver.
In Victoria, Lisa Yuzda, City News.
Meanwhile, Vancouver's Mayor Kennedy Stewart reiterating the decision to cut the budget was during the depths of the COVID-19 pandemic, when all departments were asked to do more with less.
I guess what's key to remember here is that at no point did the VPD go without. In fact, while we worked our way through this, discussion, we used reserve funds from the city to make sure the city, the full amount that the police board had requested was available to them to use.